So I want to share with you how important the St. Francis prayer is to me. And I've been saying it since April of 1987, however many, 30 plus years, every single day. And it's had a huge impact on my life. And I was asked to do what it meant to me. And so I made these videos about how the St. Francis prayer has related to me and affected my life in such a profound way. It's such a beautiful, beautiful prayer. And I'm honored to share this with you. Thank you very much.
Maybe, is there anything you practice that has had a big impact on your life?
Yes, definitely the St. Francis prayer. And it's a prayer that starts, make me an instrument of your peace. And that means for me, that particular line, that it all starts with peace. Peace in my head. And that's amazing. And I've said it every day for over 30 years. And it's I feel that I have become an instrument of peace by focusing on that peace every day. So the second line in the St. Francis prayer is, where there's hatred, let me sow love. And that's such a beautiful thing to think that you can replace hatred with love. And what I do is I lie in bed in the morning before I wake up, and I just let this love of the divine flow into me. Because if I'm supposed to be an instrument of peace, I need to be shown that love. So I lie in bed, feel it flowing into me, and then I'm ready for the day. And the fourth line is, where there is discord, harmony. What a beautiful concept that is, to feel harmony in my body and in my life and my surroundings. And I've gotten to the point where I don't really want a lot of discord in my life, so I don't have a lot. But mainly, the idea comes from being silent and harmonious inside. And there is a saying that I feel happy with happiness, I feel happy with unhappiness, I feel happiness with discord outside, and the main thing is I go inside and feel this feeling of harmony. And I found that if I am acting, as a kind person, I don't have a lot of discord. So kindness is really one of the major things in my life, is be kind. The next line is, where there is error, truth. And it's interesting, what is really true? I ask myself sometimes. And I say, is this true? Am I sure it's true? Am I positive it's true? So I want to be an instrument of truth, and my goal is not to judge and to just go into the very heart of the truth, which is really love and silence. But I don't want to be dealing with a lot of discord and error. I want to know the very truth. And I think for me, one of the basic truths that I said before is be kind. Be kind and don't judge. This is all so theoretical. It's sometimes hard to do these, but if I set myself up in the morning, filling myself and being an instrument of truth, it's a lot easier. And the next line is, where there is doubt, faith. And if my mind is questioning everything, it's hard to have faith. And there's a saying that faith is fear that has said its prayers. So I can just simply say, whatever my Creator is, grant me faith. And don't go into all this fear business and all this discord. My mind is not what I want to be in charge, unless my mind is a good servant for truth or faith or love. But I don't want the mind to be in there questioning everything. I want the mind to be in harmony with my highest good. And then there is, where there is despair, hope. What an incredible thing to be exposed to hope when you feel in despair. And many people are in despair. So if you can bring just a thread of hope to them. That may be all someone needs is just a thread. And that could be as easy as smiling at somebody or telling them they have beautiful eyes or just something positive. So, because despair is a horrible emotion. I've had it. Years ago, I had it. Despair, like there's nowhere to go and this is depressing. I'm depressed. I don't know. But if I went and I can remember meeting this woman and she gave me hope because she was so filled with life and love. And an experience like that can change someone's life. And you never know. You can change one person's life and they change someone else. And it just goes like those ripples in the water when you drop a rock. One kind act can change the world. And the next slide is where there is darkness or shadows, light. And we all know that one little candle in a room, one little candle, can light up a whole space. So my intention is to bring in this light that I feel inside. And sometimes I do it by giving a tsunami of love, but to bring in light to a situation, not darkness, not shadows where things can be hidden, but bring things out into the light where there's so much love and so much goodness, and focus on that in my life. Because we know that what you say to your brain, the brain hears. And if you tell your brain that you are stupid, and your brain keeps hearing that, or from yourself or someone else, that's what's going to happen. On the other hand, if you say, you know, I'm a loving child of God, I'm kind to people, that's what your brain processes. So we need to be kind to ourselves and other people to make this world a better place. And then where there is sadness, joy. What a wonderful thing to replace sadness with joy. And there are so many ways to feel joy. There's, just to wake up and breathe air, that could be joy. Or looking at a flower could be joy. Or telling someone you love them. Having an open enough heart to really say to people what you're feeling about them that's positive. Thank you for being in my life. You're a gift to me. I love you so much. All of these things can bring joy. And it's a lot better than sadness, because sadness isn't any fun. I want to have fun. I want to be happy. I want to be joyous. I want to be free. So I love to spread that joy. And it's one of the highest emotions is that joy. So the second part of the prayer begins with how I relate to other people. And, O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be comforted as to comfort. So by the time I finish doing the first part of the prayer, I'm filled up with all of these good feelings. So I'm not looking to be comforted from anyone else. And I'm also being comforted from my divine self. So I've got tons of comfort. So now it's my turn to comfort. And so where I see people that are needing comfort, let me provide that. So the next line is with other people, as to understand what they're talking about and understand where their soul is and understand where their hearts are and what their desires are, but to understand that, not asking for them to understand me. But it's a beautiful thing, because that means I really, really get to listen. And I'm not really looking for anything. I guess the only thing I'm really looking for is that I get to spread this energy. And that's such an amazing thing, to feel this good inside yourself, that now you want to understand. It's not like I have to be the center of attention. I want you to hear what I have to say. At this point, I want to give that, but it doesn't mean that I don't need it sometimes. But the main intention of this part of the prayer is to understand rather than to be understood. And the next line is to love others, or whatever, as to be loved. Because by this time, having done all these steps, I really know that loving and giving is really what fills me up. That's what fills me up, is the fact that I'm able to love other people rather than going out there and saying, I desperately need love. And I've been there, but at this point right now, what makes me feel wonderful is giving it. So the next line, it is in giving that we receive. And I found that when we give away, we get. And that sounds silly at first. I didn't understand it at all. But when you actually get the emotion in your body and in your heart and in your mind of giving, it's going right back into your being. So you give and you receive. That's why I think people who are giving are often such very happy people. And it's got to be a balance. You've got to listen. Is this the proper time to give? And if you get that intuition to do something nice and to give, do it immediately. Do not let questions come in, because that's coming from the very heart of kindness. For it is in forgiving that we are forgiven. And this is the hardest line of the whole series for me to recite. So I'm just going to tell you that I think that forgiving means forgiving ourselves, forgiving our higher power, if we're angry at our higher power, forgiving others. And when we forgive other people and ourselves, then we're forgiven. And I was thinking it's easier to forgive when you realize that people that do things that are not loving are either acting out of the shadows or the darkness. So, there are all these prayers you can say, like, I fully and freely forgive whoever it is, and I sincerely wish them harmony, health, peace, and all the blessings of this life. And if you say that every day for 2 weeks, there'll probably be a major forgiveness going on. So that's all I have to say about forgiveness. It's a great exploration. So the final line is, it is in dying that we are born unto eternal life. And that means so many things, because there's so many ways to die and to be born again into a different way of thinking. And it could be for our ego, letting our egos serve and be kind and not be in charge of or making confusing requests and fears, dying to fear that we're born to love. When we pass over, you're dying to this life, you're leaving your body, and you're going into what I think you're going into a place of unconditional love. So this is a simple synopsis of how I've used the St. Francis prayer and how it's impacted my life in such an absolutely amazing way. It's affected my life in every way. And I think the thing is that I've said this prayer for over 30 years, every single day. And anything you say that often becomes embedded into your soul. And that's what's happened to me, which is just amazing. I can't imagine living my life without this incredible prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Thank you for listening.